It's 8 in the morning, and I woke up wanting to make a commentary video after seeing everything on Twitter and watching Miss Esna Uni's video on YouTube about the Oop situation and RBW. And on top of that, I made a why the K-pop industry is toxic video yesterday, and you guys asked that I basically talk about my opinion on RBW, their management, and MAMAMOO's place within the K-pop industry. So instead of just coming onto the camera and just having a word vomit like I sometimes do whenever I do these commentary videos, I decided I sort of wanted to... I have respect for RBW, which is a bold thing to say, I know. But I feel like we all know that they're a terrible company. But they are the place that gave MAMAMOO a home when no one else wanted to. So for that, I feel like we owe them a little bit of respect. Or at least I'm going to speak about them properly and respectfully in this video. That doesn't mean I'm not going to call out all their bull, but I'm trying not to just get on here and rant, is my point. So that being said, I have compiled like a whole breakdown of what I want to talk about in this video, and I've come up with 4 points. This video could easily also be titled The Reason MAMAMOO Hasn't Succeeded Yet in K-pop, or The Reason MAMAMOO Seems to Be Stuck in Their Careers. But the reason I title it Why Everyone Still Hates MAMAMOO is because, one, I feel like this is an extension off of the first part of this video I made, titled Why Everyone Hates MAMAMOO, where I talk about basically all the problems coming at them, except in this video I feel like I want to dive deeper into detail for each point. So like I said, I made a list. I've compiled a list. The first thing, or I'll just tell you all the bullet points that I've come up with for why everyone still hates MAMAMOO and why they have not reached the point of success that some of their peers have already made in a shorter amount of time. So, it's called Why Everyone Still Hates MAMAMOO. The first point I want to talk about, the controversies. The second part I want to talk about, the Korean beauty standard. The third thing I want to talk about is Big 3 privilege. And the fourth thing I want to talk about is RBW itself. So, that being said, let's jump into the first point, which is their controversies. Now I want to bring up MAMAMOO's controversies first because, one, I know it's a big thing. A lot of people who see this video will blame MAMAMOO's lack of success in certain areas on I'm just like dusty and sweaty, and I just woke up. It's 8 in the morning, so excuse me. But yeah, I know a lot of people will blame MAMAMOO's setbacks on a lot of their controversies, and you know, I'm a big fan of MAMAMOO, and I can't even deny they've had more controversies than what is normal for an idol. Now, I also want to talk about the controversies just to get them out of the way, because I know that MAMAMOO and MOOMOO's and RBW are so much more than the bad things that have happened in their past. So, I'm going to name all the controversies and sort of explain them. Now, this isn't me trying to make excuses for MAMAMOO or justifying anything. This is just me talking about what they were accused of, what actually happened, and how I feel about it, which I feel like is the basis of all these commentary videos that I do anyway. But I just don't want people to think, oh, here's a black K-pop fan just making another excuse, because that's not what it is. If I feel that they actually did something maliciously, I would say that. So that being said, let's talk about the first point, which was the blackface incident. I've been watching a lot of D'Angelo Wallace lately. For those of you who don't know who D'Angelo Wallace is, he's basically a YouTube commentator. He didn't start out that way, but his channel has slowly morphed into being about commentary and talking about facts versus opinions and him voicing his opinions. And in his Shane Dawson video, which has garnered 10 million views in like the last week, he talked about Shane Dawson doing blackface. But I think it's very important to realize that, in general, blackface is terrible. It's not something anyone should ever do. It shouldn't be used as comedy because the roots of it are degrading. But I feel like within the last decade, blackface is used in 2 different ways. It's either used to mock black people or form a caricature or stereotype of what makes someone black, their personality, their physical traits, all that. But it's also used, I feel like, to kind of backhandedly dismiss racism, kind of in the same way how black people now have taken back the N-word and use it sort of as a way to as camaraderie. It's the exact same thing as N-word. I can go and call my black friend the N-word, but they won't get offended. But then, let's say Sally Sue, who happens to be white, comes over and calls my same black friend the N-word. It's a whole different ballgame. So you see how there's two different sides, because one way, I can use it, but it won't be offensive. But even if Sally Sue didn't mean it to be offensive, she could turn around the next day and say it to be mean. So it's about, I'd say, the intention and the power that the word is given and the person who says the word or does the action possesses. But anyways, that's kind of off topic. Blackface. Shane Dawson, the countless times he's done blackface, were to demean or form a stereotype about black people. MAMAMOO never did that. MAMAMOO's blackface was, everyone always talks about cultural appropriation versus cultural appreciation and how one is okay but the other isn't. So I'm saying my opinion. I believe blackface that's to appropriate culture is wrong, but blackface that is done to appreciate culture can be forgiven. I don't want to say it's acceptable because I still don't think that's right, but I feel like MAMAMOO putting on blackface to perform a Bruno Mars performance was cultural appreciation in the worst way possible. And again, I blame that on their ignorance. I blame that on them not understanding the history behind the action. And I can't even fault them for that, because not everything in Korea I know the history of or understand the culture of. In Asia in general, not even just Korea. There's so many things about China or Mongolia or Thailand that I wouldn't even begin to know about as an American person. So I can't expect someone on the whole other side to know everything about my culture either. It's not fair and it's hypocritical. So, blackface, they did it, they apologized. I forgave them because I know it was from a place of ignorance and I know it was not of malicious intent. So there's that. The next thing that they've done is saying Hwasa saying the N-word. I feel like as Hwasa gains more and more fame as a solo artist, as an individual person, and she has more and more projects outside of MAMAMOO, the more problems that she has get tied to the group, which is expected. The successes of one individual member of the group is a success of the whole group. A failure of the one person is a failure of the whole group. They came into the business as a group, so therefore I feel like they're always going to be tied together as a group, especially when it comes to their wrongdoings. But anyways, Hwasa saying the N-word. She was putting on a performance of Beyonce, who, again, is one of her idols. She looks up to Beyonce so much. Rihanna and Beyonce are basically the two artists that have kept her anchored up until this point, and who she devotes her confidence in. But anyways, so she was on some radio show, I believe, performing, what's the song called? Irreplaceable. And they gave her a piece of paper of the lyrics. And An Hae-jin, not being an English fluent speaker, was just reading along to the lyrics. Now mind you, the N-word is not even in Irreplaceable anywhere. Beyonce never wrote the N-word in that song. But for some reason, whoever gave Hwasa that paper included that lyric into the lyrics. This is what I mean by MAMAMOO's members just fall into controversy. They don't go out looking for it, it always just keeps occurring. So I don't know whose mistake that was, if you can even call it a mistake. How do you do that? I don't know. But nevertheless, she was given that paper, the word was on there, she said it, she was reading along. I can't even say if she does know the weight of that word. And this is again what I mean by one person saying it, it's a different meaning than another person saying it. Because you don't know the intent when someone who's not black says that word. There's a truck driving by, cool. But again, I don't blame Hwasa for saying the N-word because I don't know if she knows the meaning behind the word, and I know she didn't go out of her way to say it. Because if Hwasa was as racist as people are making her out to be, she would be saying that word consistently. There would be evidence of her saying that word before she debuted, when she was a child. But instead of being racist, she was looking up to artists like Beyonce and Rihanna. So it's not just one day she woke up and decided she wants to start saying the N-word. That doesn't even make sense. If Hwasa was as racist as everyone is painting her out to be now, we would have had evidence of her being this malicious, bad, black-hating person before she became a member of MAMAMOO, is my point. But that's not possible because it doesn't exist, and because she's not racist, in my opinion. If you're black and you have a different take on this, feel free to comment down below. I would love to hear your perspective. Again, in this video, I'm just trying to voice my opinion and how I look at the situation in full. So, the controversies we've talked about so far are blackface, Hwasa saying the N-word, and now the last controversy that I can remember is the most recent one and the most, I feel like, catastrophic one, the Korean sauna outfit, aka some were saying the Nigerian outfit. If I've missed a controversy, comment it down below. Feel free to speak your opinion on it as well. Again, I want this to be like an open discussion and let's just get everything out there. So yeah, the Nigerian outfit, aka sauna look. Whenever I first saw the photos of the look, saw how, I think her name is Kim Lee Ring or something, the short comedian woman in Korea, laughing at the outfit and seeing what the outfit actually looked like, I didn't like the bit of the show at all. I didn't find it funny. I didn't see how there was comedic value in it, but then again, it's a whole different culture. And even on like that show with Dime and Connie or whatever their names are, I don't find half of that stuff funny either, so I just thought it was a miscommunication of culture. But especially for this one, I felt very disrespected because I am a Nigerian woman myself. I thought they were I didn't understand how Hwasa could do something like that, considering her past. Like I've been saying, she's a fan of Beyonce, fan of Rihanna, but that doesn't mean that she wouldn't have that power in herself to do something this disrespectful. So I was along the train of, okay, Hwasa came out here disrespecting a whole culture. What the heck? Why is she doing this? This girl's always in some drama. Something's always going on with her. What is wrong with Hwasa of MAMAMOO? Why can she not stay out of trouble? Why do I stan this person? I was starting to, I don't want to say unstan Hwasa or anything because I'm always going to be OT4, but I did start to look at her a little sideways. Like, I love you, but you're messy. Which I feel like is fair, considering everything that's going on or has occurred up to this point. I don't fault people who feel uncomfortable. I say this all the time. I don't want to use the word antis because I think antis are just toxic people, but I don't fault stans who feel uncomfortable by MAMAMOO because their history is pretty dark. Now, all that being said though, I fault the people who don't fact check or try to get to the real meaning of everything that's happened, because at that point you're just letting yourself judge someone based off of ignorance, which I feel like in a way just makes you as ignorant as the situation. But anyways, I'm getting off topic. Hwasa and the Nigerian outfit. It turns out that the company was actually the one not only who made the whole bit and the wear something that will be shocking, but they're the ones who gave her the outfit. There's actually receipts, but I can find them on Twitter again. There's a receipt of the actual outfit she was wearing on some website where basically it's literally titled Korean woman fashion or something like that. Basically, the dress with the head wrap was meant to be a more fashionable or fancy version of what Hwasa wore to the company in the mornings. As we all know, Hwasa even does this with MAMAMOO. She's the member who's either running late or shows up with her hair still wet or her hair in a towel, will show up in a robe and slippers. So she was doing the same thing whenever she would go to the company to film I Live Alone. She'd show up with her hair wet with a towel around her head with a big jacket on. Basically not how a celebrity should show up to a schedule. So they were like, okay, they weren't like judging her about it or anything. They kind of were making a joke about it. Like, this is Hwasa. It's just like, what other celebrity could you think of that would do something like that? So it was just like an attribute that they assigned to Hwasa, the girl who shows up in a nightgown to film a schedule, barefaced and all. So it was wear something shocking because, as I said, that's not a behavior most celebrities would do. So wear something shocking, Hwasa was already doing that. So they just wanted to advance it, I guess, and make it a fancier look, hence the Nigerian outfit. Now the miscommunication, or I guess the problem, came when antis or international fans decided to align Hwasa's fancy nightgown with a Nigerian outfit. And I said this in a past video I made about MAMAMOO. K-poppies don't know shit about Nigeria. Y'all don't know our food, y'all don't know our music, y'all don't know our religions. It's kind of embarrassing that I let myself fall into that whole hate train for Hwasa at that instance, because it's like, these people don't know a single thing about me or my culture, and yet I let them misconstrue my idea of Hwasa based on misinformation. My point being, they don't know what a Nigerian outfit is. The only reason I believed it is because it did look similar to a Nigerian outfit, which is what I said also in a past video. I said that is a Nigerian outfit, because it is. In fact, let me see if I could pull up, just so y'all don't think I'm just talking just to talk. Because as I said before, that dress that she was wearing and the head wrap is something Nigerian women back home to clean the house or sit on the porch or just relax. It's not something you wear out to an event or to go out in public. It's like your at-home gear. Nigerian home fashion. That being said, I'd like to point out also that a headscarf or a dress with intricate weavings and designs does not just belong to Africa or even to Nigeria. So many different cultures all around the world have fashion like that, so don't get that idea mixed up. So we have an outfit like this, if it'll focus. I hope you can see what I'm talking about though. I don't think it focused, but whatever. This is a male version of the outfit. I hope that one focuses. It's a really good example. This is actually the richest woman in Nigeria. I don't know her name, but I just know she went to college in America, then went back home, and y'all don't care. But anyways, this is the richest woman in Nigeria. As you can see, she kind of has the headscarf on and the like dress design thing too. Focus on me. There we go. So, all that being said, yes, the outfit Hwasa was wearing similar to Nigerian outfit, but no, that was not the intent at all. So Hwasa basically had a whole hate train, the worst hate train she's ever experienced in my opinion, on that day for misinformation. I want to talk about how I just wonder how Hwasa feels, how she deals with all this controversy that keeps happening to her, how she's able to handle it, is her mental health okay, and do antis or people who spread these narratives not care? Because whenever we lose an idol, or, you know, we have idols like Mina or Wheein who have to take time off because they don't have the strength or whatever to face the public, or their anxiety is just too strong. Whenever that happens, we all rally behind them and are like trying to be supportive, but yet we do things like this. It just doesn't make sense. But whatever. The controversies that we've talked about so far in this video: blackface, N-word, Nigerian outfit. All 2 out of the 3 things were from misinformation or ignorance. The Nigerian outfit thing was a fault of K-pop fans. But nevertheless, all 3 occurrences have kind of distorted the image that MAMAMOO has to the public. Now, I don't even want to say to the Korean public, because honestly, I don't think Koreans care about black culture or how black people feel, because let's be honest, half the time, black people aren't even allowed in certain clubs in Korea. We are discriminated against in Korea. half of the Korean people are racist against black people.
And the entire K-pop industry uses black culture, black people, black music, black ethnicity, black history for profit, while simultaneously hating black people.
So this is not a problem Koreans are having with MAMAMOO. This is a problem that Western or international fans are having with MAMAMOO. And I'd just like to point out, I believe, I'm going to get into this more whenever I get to the RBW section of this video, but we're not even the target audience RBW has for MAMAMOO. Let's just be straight up about that. RBW doesn't care about international fans. They've proven that time and time again, and I'm going to get into that at the end of this video when I talk about the fourth point. I'm going to talk about RBW. But yeah, the controversies have basically tarnished MAMAMOO's reputation as being accepting, friendly, lovable, or whatever. You know, so many different idols are friends with MAMAMOO, speak positively about MAMAMOO, but none of that really matters anymore. People have this image of MAMAMOO that they are just toxic, trouble seekers, or trouble just seems to find them, and they want no part of that. But also, they're used as the scapegoat or punching bag for everything and anything that can be bad. And I think that's because they don't have a support system from their company, and two, they're the underdogs, which makes them an easy target. Okay, so that's the first point, their controversies. Next up, what was my next point? Oh, the Korean beauty standard. So why hasn't MAMAMOO reached a level of success that their peers like Blackpink or BTS have reached? Or even Twice or Red Velvet? I think the Korean beauty standard. MAMAMOO does not fit in. Whether it be their looks, what they stand for, their concept, they don't fit in. You know, the other day I was watching like this girl group montage of just different groups that I could potentially stan. I was looking for some new content to see, some new music to listen to. And I kid you not, when there were at least 10 different Twices, there were 10 different groups that I could see producing What Is Love or TT or Likey or Yes or Yes. There were 10 different girl groups that had the cutesy, girly concept. Now, I don't want to say Twice, that's what Twice is, because as we've seen with like Feel Special, Fancy, even more and more, their most recent comeback, Twice is more than the cutesy girl concept. But my point is, for girl groups anyway, the basic, what's the word? The bare minimum to be successful as a girl group is to do what Twice debuted with, which is a girly cutesy concept. Now, I'd say in the beginning, MAMAMOO was sort of like that, with songs like Ah Oop, or even Piano Man. You're the best. Songs like that aren't even fully in the cutesy girl concept, but I feel like they were enough in the genre to kind of propel MAMAMOO into the spotlight. Because look at the music MAMAMOO puts out now compared to back then. Complete polar opposites. So they did what they had to do to get their name out, but I feel like that's not MAMAMOO. And no matter how even whenever I watch performances from back then, I'm like, who the heck is this? This is not MAMAMOO. That concept just does not fit MAMAMOO. And I don't take the members of MAMAMOO, Wheein, Solar, Hwasa, Moonbyul to be something they're not, which is why I feel like not that their concept was forced to change, but that it naturally did. Hello, Moonbyul's whole comeback or solo with Eclipse, if she debuted with that, I don't know if she'd had the same success today as she has. At all. My point is, MAMAMOO, as people, as artists, do not match the girly cutesy concept, which I feel like is what is marketable in South Korea, what is sought after.
Also, I didn't really talk about this in the video, but I think it's important to also mention how MAMAMOO's physical features don't really match the Korean beauty standard. Hwasa's thick, she has wide hips, thick thighs. She always preaches about body positivity, loving yourself, being who you naturally are, and being against dieting. She's become basically a mogul for restaurants and the food industry and promoting food. Moonbyul, she blinds the line between what an oppa or uni should be. She is herself unapologetically, which attracts more mature fans to Mamamoo. Wheein, Solar, their vocals speak for themselves. Not to say that their beauty isn't there, but their beauty doesn't match, I feel like, the standard that other people want. I feel like the people in Korea want idols who look like Sana from Twice. Very sharp, skinny features. That's just not who Mamamoo is. Now, that's not a bad thing, but it's not what the general public in South Korea are looking for. Back to the video.
If I'm being honest, I think a big part of it also has to do with the fact that our fan base is mainly girls. Like, look at Twice and Red Velvet. Their fan base is mainly guys because their concept, I'm gonna say, is appealing to men. Blackpink, their fan base is mainly girls, younger girls. Our fan base is older people who have jobs, careers, all that stuff. So it's just like, each group appeals to different audiences, but to be successful, or as successful as groups like BTS and Blackpink, I think you have to have a fan base bigger than what we have in South Korea. Now, I mentioned Blackpink and how their fan base is mainly younger girls, but yet they're still, I think, the number one, internationally anyway, they're the number one K-pop girl group. I think Twice is the number one girl group in Korea, but all around the world, it's definitely Blackpink. So it's like, okay, I said you have to have the opposite gender as the basis of your fan base to be successful. But Blackpink has girls, and Blackpink's members are also girls. So how does that... That's kind of a contradiction. But it's not, because Blackpink is managed under YG, who is a member of the Big Three. And I don't want people to say, okay, here we go into... Is it focused? No, it's not. I don't want people to say, here we go into the Big Three excuse. You have... People were saying in my last video that I don't know why people expect idols to... Or they want their idols to come from dirt and gain success. It's just, you can't deny the Big Three privilege. Obviously, if you debut under a company that already has their name established or has a history of having successful idols, people are automatically already going to know who you are, research you, and all that. It's like, okay, it's like if someone says, I graduated from community college, and then someone else says, I graduated from Yale. Who do you think that employer is going to hire? Someone from Yale. Because it's like, okay, if you're able to get into Yale, you did something right, you're special. It's the same thing with Big Three and all these other smaller companies. If you can, as a trainee, get into a Big Three company, there's a light behind you basically already. And that makes the public already have more interest in you than a company who has to spend thousands of dollars on promotion just to get their name out there, just to get their artist name out there. So it's not about trying to take away from the hard work and talent of idols from the Big Three. It's just like, those idols who debut from Big Three are already leaps ahead as far as promotion, as far as management, as far as marketing. Everything to get their name out and debut successfully, they have a head start, is basically what I'm trying to say. Idols who come from the Big Three have a head start. And I don't see how you can debate that. If you want to try, please comment down below. I'd like to see your perspective once again. But I just don't understand how you can deny Big Three privilege. It exists. Just like if you come from a rich family, your life is automatically kind of set in stone to be more... You have more resources to have a better life. You know, that's not to say these kids can't fall into bad things or get bad acquaintances and ruin their lives. But just from coming from a place where success is surrounding you, you automatically are uplifted. And that's my point. I feel like Mamamoo being under RBW, as far as their career, was a setback. But then again, RBW was the only company who, even after how many auditions, Solar, I think she did like 30 auditions, she was ready to quit, and then she walked into RBW and they gave her a chance. I think she auditioned for YG and JYP, correct me if I'm wrong. But none of them gave Solar a chance. Which is why in the beginning of this video, I said I have so much respect for RBW, and I don't want to come off as rude or ungrateful in this video to them. Because, like I said, they're the only ones who gave the members of MAMAMOO a chance. Without RBW, we would have no MAMAMOO. So we owe them respect for at least that. Okay, it's focused. But that being said, Big 3 privilege exists, and MAMAMOO does not get that privilege being under RBW. Also, I guess it's now we can transition into my last point, which is RBW as itself. Without MAMAMOO, there is no RBW. Without MAMAMOO, there is no One We, One Us, not even... Purple Kiss would not even be a thing without MAMAMOO. Let's just call a spade a spade. Without MAMAMOO, there would be no Purple Kiss. Now, I'm excited for Purple Kiss's debut, and I'm looking forward to seeing what concept and music they produce. But without MAMAMOO, the company would still be in debt. The company's not... Their lights wouldn't even be on. They wouldn't even be able to flush the toilet because their water bill would be overdue. Without MAMAMOO, the company would have plummeted. The CEO would have lost his job. Now didn't MAMAMOO's or RBW's CEO have a controversy that he had to step down from? I don't know if it's from inexperience or being new or what, but I don't think RBW was ready to manage a group like MAMAMOO. From making Moonbyul not smile because they thought her smile or laugh was ugly, to withholding Wheeyan's solo music and collabs that she wants to produce from 2017 when she's announced to now we still haven't got them, to telling An Hae-jin she can't cut her hair or she needs to lose weight or whatever. And the thing I have always never let go, them telling Moonbyul she either has to debut as the rapper or leave the group. When it comes to defending and supporting your idols and your artists, RBW has no clue what they're doing, and they never did. And I don't think they ever will. Because if they did, why... I'm gonna be honest. I feel like RBW only pushes Hwasa's solos the way they should. I feel like not even they've chosen, it's just happened out this way. I don't think it's the fault of anyone. I think it's just Hwasa's charisma and her essence as a person that has propelled her so much to the forefront and to being the face of MAMAMOO. I say that lightly because I don't think, in my opinion, there is no face. But when it comes to work outside of MAMAMOO, it's definitely Hwasa who has the most schedules coming at her. I think RBW hasn't chosen, but I think Hwasa is the favorite child in MAMAMOO now. Mom! Yeah, I don't think RBW knows how to manage a group like MAMAMOO because MAMAMOO is not like any other group. Their music isn't like any other group, their personalities are so different, their concept, the way they look at the industry is so different. They didn't just want to get famous just to get money or whatever. Moomoo's always say that MAMAMOO are artists. They're not just K-pop idols, which is 100% true. I don't feel like I have to bullet point everything about MAMAMOO that makes them different than other K-pop groups. I feel like you should be able to watch a live performance and see that for yourself. If you're not familiar with MAMAMOO, just watch their Immortal Songs performances. Just watch their Queendom performances. You'll see what I'm talking about. So RBW being a younger company and seeing how other management companies who have been around for longer than them, just watching them and seeing how they manage their groups would not help them understand how to manage MAMAMOO. Because as we saw, they debuted them with a girly concept, or at their attempt at a girly concept. In my opinion, MAMAMOO matches better with groups like To Anyone from YG. Definitely. So there's no comparison to whenever MAMAMOO first debuted that would be able to compare. and know how to direct or manage. So all that being said, I want to talk about now. First, I just want to talk about the ESNA situation and the AOOP, because I feel like that just further concretes RBW's inability to support and their lack of integrity, in my opinion. So, for those of you who don't know what recently came to light, a few days ago, a woman by the name of ESNA, who I think is an idol herself. She's debuted before MAMAMOO even debuted. But she was not at the point in her career where she felt she had enough buzz or like promotion or whatever. She wanted to become more well known, and she saw MAMAMOO under RBW, the same company she was signed to, and immediately she knew they were going to be successful, or she saw something in MAMAMOO that she felt like she aligned with, and also that she saw potential for MAMAMOO in the future. So she was like, okay, let's collab. It wasn't even more so that it was her choice on the collab. In a way, she was kind of forced into it because she was meant to produce a song, write a song. She loved it, which she did. But somehow from the producers to RBW, the song was given to MAMAMOO, and they decided that it was best to do a collaboration with MAMAMOO and ESNA. Now, I don't want to, if I have anything wrong as I retell the story from ESNA, or this isn't my story to tell, is basically what I'm trying to say. I'm just summarizing everything that I heard and understood from watching her video, which in fact I'll just link down below. If you want to watch ESNA's video where she explains her relationship with RBW, MAMAMOO, and everything that went down with AOOP, then go watch the video. But yeah, she was kind of put into a corner and forced into having the collab with MAMAMOO, which is not necessarily a bad thing. She wasn't angry about the collab with MAMAMOO. It was more so, it was her song and now she has to share it with 4 people. That was until promotions came, going on MC Banger, Inkiago, all the different music shows that are broadcasted in Korea. ESNA was basically taken out of everything, from the song to the promotions to the set design. ESNA was not present with her own song. The thing that hurt me most after watching her video was seeing how she had to diet, how she basically didn't eat. She had to use laxatives to meet a weight that the company was saying, if you don't meet this weight, then you're not going to be able to perform or promote your own song with MAMAMOO. Which, I mean, she met that weight and she still wasn't even able to promote with the song because of the comments that were in the video. I didn't see this fandom as being the type of people to make comments like that, but we have to also remember this is like 5 or 6 years ago. So though our fan base is like older and mature now, who's to say what it was back then? But anyways, in the music video comments where MAMAMOO and ESNA collabed for AOOP, they were basically saying ESNA looks old, ESNA doesn't fit in, blah 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 blah. Some people were saying they didn't like her part of the music. So ESNA's producer and RBW, the company she was signed to, her own representatives, basically took her out of the song and every promotion of the song. So in a way, they basically co-signed everything people were saying by removing her. What you're supposed to do as a company is support your idols, make statements, or just be the backbone for your idol legally and professionally. But they did not do that sort of thing for ESNA, and I don't think they do that for MAMAMOO. Because where has RBW been after every controversy MAMAMOO has ever had? Nowhere. It's MooMoos and the fans of MAMAMOO and other people just in general who have to disprove, inform, explain, or, just tell the true story. But I feel like that's not a fan's place. We do it because we care about the girls and we don't want people to have a bad image of them. Look at Big Hit. Big Hit, I love Big Hit because they're the exact same thing as RBW. Small company. Before a certain group debuted, they were a nobody. But yet, look at where their idols and groups have come in the span of less than a decade. So that's why I don't hold many excuses for RBW, because if Big Hit can give out lawsuits, can sue people, can make sure that BTS always feels like there's a defense behind them, there's no reason RBW can't. And we can't use an excuse of not having the funding or, resources or whatever. If you care enough about your artists, you will try. You will go to the ends of the earth to make sure they're protected. BTS whenever they edit their mini vlogs or videos that they do sometimes for the fans, whenever they're not promoting, they go on like little trips and stuff. They even block out, like blur the chest of, for example, Jungkook. They put subtitles on their videos. It's just little things you can do that will show, one, your artists, but also your fans that you care. Whether it be, like I said, blurring out the chest so that people can't lust after your idol, or just giving them some sort of privacy about their own body, or putting subtitles for your international fans so that they can understand and form a connection with your group. Little things you can do that will prove that you're not a shit company. So I know that I wrote down little things that I wanted to talk about, especially about the RBW. And I said marketing, how MAMAMOO was never meant to be an international group. They were always, and I still feel like are, a South Korea-based group. English subs for international fans, protection, and not having a backbone when you need to have one. So I feel like I've kind of talked about all of that, but the thing I want to dive deeper into now, I guess, is MAMAMOO the purpose of MAMAMOO was never to go outside of South Korea, which I feel like is why they don't bother to put subs sometimes. Look at Solar Shido, Solar's YouTube channel. Within a day, usually, she has English subs, because she knows she has international fans. She knows she has fans who don't just speak Korean. For the most part, we speak English. So if you know that your fan base, or even if it's like 5% of your fan base, if you know they speak a language, the least you can do for people who support you, spend money on you, give their time to make sure you can live a lifestyle that you've always wanted, the least you can do is put English subs. But RBW doesn't do that because they don't care. There are episodes of MMTV from like season 2 and 3 from their promotion days that still don't have English subtitles after years. We're always saying, okay, let's just wait for the subs after something is posted on the RBW channel. And to think after years have gone by, there's still no subs on those videos. It's just like there's no effort, you don't care. It's plain and simple, RBW does not care about their international fans. And I think it's because, once again, MAMAMOO was never meant to be an international or promoted group. I feel like RBW never expected MAMAMOO to reach the level of success that they're at today. And honestly, I don't think their success has anything to do with RBW, from their lack of management, but also them being a small company. MAMAMOO got to where they are today because of who they are, their talents, and themselves as a group. It had nothing RBW has done up until this point, in my opinion, other than letting them express themselves and produce music that they actually like, unlike the stuff they were giving them in the beginning. MAMAMOO is where they're at today because of songs like Starry Night, Egotistic, the different solos the members do. Literally, Spit It Out, Easy, Eclipse, Maria or Twit, all completely different genres from one another, which represent the members individually. The reason MAMAMOO is so successful today is because of who they are. It has nothing to do with their company. RBW doesn't even know how to market them, doesn't know how to promote them. I'm surprised they even came to KCON LA last year. If I'm not mistaken, MAMAMOO has been to the United States twice. The first time whenever they were in New York City, and we got that little vlog where they were hugging that African American woman who was half naked, which is another point. Why would they be hugging a black person and having black people in their music videos if they hated black people? I don't know. That's a point that we've already discussed, but you see my point. Go watch the Go Go Baby music video if you don't know what I'm talking about. But my point is RBW had nothing to do with MAMAMOO's success. MAMAMOO's success is because of their personalities, their talents, and their ability to form a connection. Because how is it that they've formed such a strong fan base out internationally if they were never marketed to us? In a way, we found MAMAMOO and MAMAMOO found us. But never in that bond has RBW been like, hey, say thank you to me, because they had nothing to do with it. Because they're a terrible company. They have no backbone. They don't know how to market. The only thing positive that I can say about RBW is that I'm thankful for them letting MAMAMOO express themselves how they want to as artists. If I can even give them that, because as I said, Wheein still has a bunch of solos. She hasn't dropped yet. It's just now that we got the In My Room studio version from Moonbyul on her Eclipse album, or Dark Side of the Moon album. So this kind of gives me a chance to talk about the next video I want to post, which is talking about MAMAMOO's ships. So as we all know, MAMAMOO's contract with RBW is expiring next year. I'm going to say I think and I hope and I pray that they're signing with Big Hit. Big Hit knows how to manage their companies. Big Hit does not have a girl group yet under their name. Actually, they have G-Friend, but I'm not gonna go there. Whatever. They have G-Friend, but I feel like MAMAMOO would be an amazing asset to Big Hit. Not only would it be good for the company, but it would be so good for MAMAMOO. Look at where BTS started with their like fake Versace outfits and their concept to where they are now. They went from some edgy boy band rock rap group to now being the pop socialites of the entire world. BTS is the reason K-pop is where it is today. A mass known genre. A genre that even if you don't care about it or like it, you know what it is. It's because of BTS. So if a small company that was originally a nobody can turn a group that was so not widely known into a worldly sensation, imagine what they could do for MAMAMOO. And it's not even like it's a one-sided relationship, like we're gonna use Big Hit to propel MAMAMOO to where we want them to go. But look at MAMAMOO's talents. If they're able to get to where they are today, winning so many awards and getting respect from notable people within the industry, from while being managed by a company that doesn't know what they're doing, imagine what they could do with a team who actually understands and can support them in the way they need to be supported. Wow. And can you imagine the interactions we would get? I mean, look at TXT. I don't even know if I want to go there because I don't want to say anything that will offend anyone. But if TXT can get to where they are in such a short amount of time, that's all I'm saying. The Big Hit power exists. And also I really ship Wheein and Taehyung, so I would love to see more moments of them. Yeah. I've talked too much. Make sure you subscribe if you're new here, like this video. Is there anything in the video that I've said that you disagree with or agree with, or that you just want to elaborate on? Let me know in the comment section down below, and I would be happy to talk to you guys in the comments. So yeah, I feel like this is a very broad topic that we all have different opinions on, so I definitely want to hear your perspectives. So yeah, let's make sure we keep the comment section too a place where everyone feels like they can be heard and their opinion isn't being dismissed or attacked or whatever. Keep an open conversation. If anyone says anything about whatever, don't immediately go on to defense mode or start attacking someone. Hear them out and then voice your response respectfully. Yeah. Thank you for watching, guys. I'll see you guys later at some point. I don't know when. I gotta go study for my nursing exam. Bye.